Well, so Nokia is an example of, I'm going to say it's fear. It's
Mm,
fear of looking bad by the leadership team, which
mm,
then shows up as this is what we've decided, this is what we're doing. And
mm,
it creates this unsafe place for others to speak up and say, why are we doing it this way? Or do you see this? And it just continued. So it wasn't like the pandemic that came up and surprised people, although it shouldn't necessarily have surprised people. But I don't know about you, Bill. I mean, there are a couple of companies maybe I brought up. We talked about what would happen if there was, this big change, maybe even some pandemic, because it's always a possibility. But usually it's such a low priority. I mean, such a low possibility that we really don't go through it in strategic planning. Well, in this case, in Nokia, it was clear when they were using the Microsoft operating system for their phones, and they were the phone for like 14 years. And
oh,
then for a number of years after that, they were seeing that Apple operating system and the Android operating system were far surpassing Microsoft's operating system. And they knew their Symbian operating system wasn't, needed a lot of help. So they were looking at Microsoft. And that's who they were partnered with. Well, they resisted for too long that Apple and Android were the systems to go with. And they ended up having to sell their phone business. And then Satya Nadella, when he came in, because Ballmer wanted to buy it, and the board was all ready to buy it. And then Satya Nadella, when he came in, it was only within 4 months, and he had the courage to say, this doesn't fit. We're
yeah.
writing it off. So they bought it for like 7.8 billion and wrote it off. Like the next year, 7.8 billion.